Hello friends, welcome to the video number 29 for the Python 3 series. And well, in this video I'm gonna try to make a brief introduction to functions. And before we get to see how we can create our own functions, first I'm gonna try to help you hopefully to understand a little bit what functions are. And we have already been using functions in Python. There are some built-in or already defined functions inside of Python. And for example, we have been using the print function, the type function, the range function. And well, basically, as you can see, when we call a function, what we are doing here is known as calling the function. We are calling the print function here, and we can say or we can see that it is a function because the that word is turning purple. So that tells us, okay, this is a built-in function in Python. And well, then we have parentheses. All functions have parentheses. They can be actually empty. Uh, and what goes inside of those parentheses is what is known as the parameters or arguments of the function. It is my understanding that basically we call them parameters when we are defining the function, or in the definition of the function is called the parameters. And when we are calling the function, what we passed in here is known as the argument. And well, basically we gotta have the same number of arguments as parameters inside of a function. Um, I guess for all like that like me are not professional programmers, it doesn't really matter. You can call it parameters or arguments, whatever you like. But well, in some probably more professional environments, you're gonna have to use the appropriate terminology. And well, here, for example, I am passing this string as the argument for the print function. Here I am passing this integer 7 as the argument for the type function. And here, remember, I have a start, a stop, and a step, an optional step for the range function. Remember, we do range. And one more thing, remember, when we open the parentheses, here in the Python editor, we can get a little help. So for example, the range can be created in two different ways. We can pass just one argument, which is going to be the stop, or we can pass two or an optional third step to say, okay, this is where I want you to start, to stop, and if there is a step, like in this case, then well, we pass the step. Now, um, well, what is a function? After all this, what is a function? A function is basically a way of grouping or putting together a bunch of code, right? A full bunch of instructions, and we put everything together and we wrap it in some kind of a definition, and we give it a name, and that is our function. Um, Now, for to try to understand this, for example, here it's very easy. We just do range, and then we put the three parameters, or just one or two, and that's it. We're able to use it. But behind this, we have a whole bunch of things that Python has done for us. Oh, I closed it. Uh, well, here I am inside of these are part of the libraries inside of Python. So I'm gonna open this in idle. Just make sure we don't move anything. We can completely mess up uh, this library or this definition from Python. Now, this is the constructor for the definition of the range. You can see here we have the start, the stop, the step, and this all is the definition of the function. So imagine try to do this by ourselves. Probably for professional programmers, this would be a piece of cake, but for people like me, again, that we are just trying to learn to do this for very simple purposes, well, it's kind of complicated, right? So again, I'm gonna minimize this. And well, all that code is again wrapped inside of that definition that we saw. And the given name is range. So now we have a definition of a function, and we just have to call it, pass the arguments, and that's it. Pretty easy, right? Well, all this that Python has done for us, we're gonna learn how to do it. Probably our definitions are gonna be much easier and simpler not as complicated as this, but well, it's gonna be hopefully very, very useful, right? And the good thing about defining our own functions is that, as you can see here, we can call print, type, range as many times as we want without having to type any code again. So when we create a bunch of code and we see that it's working, we can just wrap it, give it a name, and define it as a function, and then we can call it as many times as we want without having to type the code again and again. Um, and when well, brother, well, one last thing that I want to show you is that in the Python documentation you can find all the built-in functions, right? All these functions are already here available in Python for us. The absolute value, the directory, well, here is our print function, the power function, sets, type, so on. And well, here you have all these definitions for these functions, or well, more like what they are and what they do, right? So here you can consult all the built-in functions you have available in Python. And well, I think that's basically it. I hope that with this video I can give you an idea what functions are, how we can call them, how we define them, what are the purpose of these parentheses, what is the parameters or arguments. And again, well, because in the next video we're gonna start looking at, okay, how can we create our own functions, all right? So that we can use them and call them as many times as we need. So that's it for now. And as always, I hope that you find this video useful. Thanks all of you for watching these videos, and well, don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you on the next video.